Hi, today I'm going to explain a little bit about the VLAN settings that you can do on a client unit in the Trinity MultiFlex system. When you have a client and you go to the network page under the configuration, you will find three different VLAN parameters that you can configure. And they are underneath the IP addresses. The first one is the VLAN ID, which is the VLAN ID, which could be everything between 1 and 4094. This is the VLAN that the unit itself is on. That means that if you configure this one, for instance, on VLAN 1000, this unit will only answer to traffic on this IP address with this VLAN tag. So you will need to have this configured correctly in your switches also. The second one is the VLAN access ID. That is what we call when you have an access VLAN. That means that this VLAN, for instance, we can configure VLAN 2000 here. This VLAN, when it is received from the radio, will be untagged when it leaves the Ethernet port. Any untagged traffic coming in on the Ethernet port will be tagged with this VLAN. You also have a third parameter that is a trunk ID. That is a list of VLANs that should be allowed to pass through the client. If you don't specify any, all VLANs will be valid to pass through it. So this means that you can limit the number of VLANs that a particular client gets, which is very useful when you have businesses that is maybe having 2 or 3 VLANs, or maybe no VLANs, but they have an access VLAN. So here we can specify that VLAN 999, for instance, is allowed. We can add more of these ones, 998, 997, or whatever. It all depends on your network configuration. Once you have done all this, you can press the Set button and the Apply button. Now I will not do this because I have not configured everything to be on VLAN 1000, so I leave it as it is. So I will not use these settings. I did something wrong here. I can then load the configuration, either the one that is stored in the flash or the factory default or the active settings. And since I haven't pressed apply yet, the settings I want is the active settings. That would be the same as the stored settings. So in this case it wouldn't have made any difference.